Dear students, so in this video I will be discussing the air traffic control. It's from module 6 of transportation engineering 1, and I will be discussing the aim and primary functions and flight rules which are used in air traffic control, and the components of air traffic controls network will be discussed in this video. So, what is the importance or need of air traffic control? So, it provides guidance to the aircraft from takeoff to landing. So, that is the function or the major significance of air traffic control. It will be providing guidance to the aircraft once it is takeoff from the airport and until it is landed in other airports. So in between, this air traffic control will be providing guidance to the pilot of the particular aircraft. So it will be ensuring a safe, convenient and economic aircraft movement from one airport to the other. So if you're taking air traffic control, it will be a complex problem when compared to the control of the movement on ground because of these following reasons. The aircraft, it cannot stop in airspace and it has to continue its flight under any circumstance. That is the one problem or one factor that will be making air traffic control a complex problem. So, if we are taking aircraft, we know that if we are taking the movement of vehicles on roadways, if some failure occurs to the vehicles or some problems like that occurs, they can stop on the road or they can park sideways and do the corrective measures. But in the case of aircraft, it is not possible. Once it has taken off from one airport, it has to land at some other. If any failure occurs in between, we are not able to stop the aircraft there as such. You have to land safely at other airport. Okay, that is one problem. And other is the aircraft lands with a glide slope and it is governed by the altitude from which the pilot is forced to land due to the mechanical failure or during landing. So we know that the aircraft will be landing at an inclined angle. So it is that slope is known as glide slope, and it will be depending upon what is the altitude of the aircraft and where it has to touch down. So depending upon that, so if some mechanical failure occurs, you have to calculate these things and that correct altitude, correct glide slope itself. This aircraft has to land. Otherwise, the landing will not be proper. Some accidents may occur. So these make the air traffic control a complex problem. So if we take the aim of the air traffic control systems, the main aim is to ensure safety. So they will be giving information regarding weather conditions, etc. What is the distance from the nearby aircrafts and obstacles. So all those things will be giving. So in order to give that safe or accident free movement is one of the main aim, and other is to give a economic and efficient utilization of the airports and aircraft so that they can increase the capacity of the airport and they can increase the revenue producing through this air traffic. So the aims are avoid possibility of occurrence of accidents in air, grant economic and efficient utilization of aircraft and airports, guide aircraft to their destination safely and speedily, increase the confidence of the passengers using the facility of air travel, to separate the aircraft to a safe distance during their flight, both vertically and horizontally. The need of the air traffic control. So the air traffic control, it will be dealing all the movement or it will be guiding throughout the movement of the aircraft from one airport to another. So all the basic actions that are performed by the aircraft will be monitored or will be guided by air traffic control. So the basic actions of the aircraft in its flight from one airport to the other are: the aircraft will be taking off from the airport, it will be maintaining a proper altitude in air, it will be navigating from one point to other, and then it will be landing at the desired airport. So these are the things that will be done by the aircraft during its movement from one airport to another. It will be taking off and it will be reaching a particular altitude, it will be moving safely from one point to another, base one keeping that required altitude, and then it will be landing at that at the other airport. So all these things are handled by air traffic control. So we can summarize the primary functions of air traffic control as airport traffic control, airway traffic control, airway communication, and general or non-airway traffic control. So the airport traffic control, it will be guiding the aircraft that is deciding to landing or take off at some airport, and it will be also controlling the taxiing or movement of the aircraft that are arrived or departing from one airport. So it will be controlling all the movements at the airport or near to the airport site, and it will be controlling the airway movement. So that is airway traffic control. It regulates the movement along the air routes from one airport to another. Next is airway communication, that is it will be giving informations to pilot regarding the weather conditions and airway conditions. Then it will be controlling general or non-airway traffic. So it is mainly done to avoid the interference of the private flying or personal flying with the main air traffic. So main air traffic means that international air transport between the countries, or maybe domestic airport air traffic, but they will be handling this passenger aircraft. That is main air traffic means that passenger air traffic comes under that. So it should not be interfered by the personal flying personal planes, or that is private planes or private jets and all. So that has to be ensured by the air traffic control. So these are the primary functions: airport traffic control, airway traffic control, airway communication, and general or non-airway traffic control. Next, we can see the flight rules that are followed in air transport. So there are mainly two basic types: instrument flight rules or IFR, and visual flight rules or VFR. So here VFR will be used in good weather conditions. That is, when visibility is better, we can go for VFR. So here the responsibility will be mainly with the pilot. So that is, the pilot will be seeing whatever be surroundings, and also he will be seen by the pilots of other aircraft, and he will be visually controlling the altitude, the navigation, and he will be responsible for maintaining safe distances between the adjacent aircrafts and obstacles. So all the responsibility will be with pilot. So even during landing also, he has to see the markings, he has to see the lightings if it is night, and then he has to do proper landing. So it is used only during good weather conditions, that is when there is visibility. But if the visibility conditions is poor, or weather conditions are poor, or the aircraft has to move through the clouds, at that time you can go for IFR. So here there will be communication between ATC, that is air traffic controller, and pilot, and the air traffic controller will be giving information about aircraft condition, the route, and the weather conditions, etc. But then the pilot has to just follow the informations or the guidances given by the air traffic controller. So the responsibility will be mainly with this air traffic control personnel, and this is more safe when compared to VFR, but it is more complicated. You will require more sophisticated equipments and all for this IFR. So these are the two flight rules. So one is VFR, it is used during good weather conditions, and IFR during poor weather conditions or poor visibility conditions. Next is air traffic control network. The air traffic control network will be having mainly three components: control centers, control towers, and flight service stations. So first one is control centers, or it is also known as ARTCC, Air Route Traffic Control Centers. So it mainly controls the movement of aircraft along airways. So for this, you will be having control centers located at some major airports. It will not be located at all airports. It will be located at some major airports, and a large zone around that airport will be under the control of this control centers, and they will be controlling the movement of aircraft in that zone. And once the aircraft leaves that zone, the control will be handed over to the next ARTCC. So like that, a large zone will be coming under one ARTCC, and they will be mainly used when the aircraft is operating under IFR. So it controls the movement of aircraft along the airways, and the number of controllers required at ARTCC will be depending upon what is the average number of aircraft coming. If it is more, you have to provide more controllers, Complexity of air traffic. If it is the air traffic is more complex, you have to give more controllers. And degree of automation. If the degree of automation is more, you require only less number of air traffic controllers. So it is regarding ARTCC. It will be located at some major airports. Next is control towers, also known as airport traffic control tower. It will be located at all the airports and it will be supervising, directing and monitoring the traffic in the airport. So it will be located some prominent or commanding area in the terminal area of the airport, and they will be giving clearances to the aircraft for landing and takeoff. And it will be providing the pilots the information regarding weather and the other operating conditions, etc. So ATCT or control towers can be provided either with approach control facilities or without approach control facilities. So if it is provided with approach control facility, means we have already said ARTCC will be controlling the movement of aircraft in airway for a large zone. So once the aircraft enters the airport, which is having control towers with approach facility, then if the radius is within 40 kilometer, it will be the control will be with control towers, and beyond 40 kilometers it will be with a control centers. Okay, so you will be having an airport, and each airport you will be having city, that is control towers will be there. And if the airport is provided with approach facility, from the airport in a 40-kilometer distance, within that 40-kilometer distance the control will be with this control tower, and beyond that 40 kilometer the control will be with control centers. And if you and this after within that 40 kilometer, this control towers will be providing guidance to the aircraft. They will be controlling the movement, and they will be providing the informations necessary for landing, like glide slope, and what is the glide slope have to be maintained, what is the current altitude, all those things will be provided by control towers. So, if you are providing approach control facilities at ATCT, then you have to provide holding fix. So, holding fix means it is the area where the aircraft are detained for landing. So, suppose you are having heavy traffic, that means there will be aircraft coming one after the other, but there will be some time taking for the aircraft to land and then to clear the runway. So, you cannot make the aircraft to land one after the other at a short period. So for that you can provide holding fix. So holding fix means this is an area provided near to the airport where the aircrafts can it will be just circling in the air at a height difference of 300 meters. So suppose the runway is here, so one aircraft will be coming like this and it will be landing here. But suppose you are having other aircrafts that are coming at small intervals, then they have to wait at 300-meter intervals. That means one aircraft will be at this altitude, then next aircraft will be at a altitude of 300 meter, then next at other 300 meters. So like that, one over the other, like this it will be coming. So once the first aircraft has landed, the other will be sloping to this area, and it will be circling here, and once this has cleared the runway, it will be landing like this. So the other aircraft will be coming to this position. So like that, so the aircraft will be circling at a vertical distance of 300 meter in the holding fix. So it is provided in the case of airports provided with approach control facility. If approach control facility is not provided, all the clearances all will be given by control centers itself, and only after starting the landing the control towers will be taking over the guidance or the control of the aircraft. Next is flight service stations. So flight service stations will be located along airways and airports, and it is used for passing the messages between ARTCC and the aircraft or the pilot. So that is the function of FSS or flight service station, to relay the messages between control centers and the aircraft. So these are the three components: control centers, control towers and flight service stations. Three components of air traffic control network. So in the next video we can discuss the air traffic control aids that are provided for helping the aircraft in landing and in movement in airways and all. Okay, so thank you.